right, guys, it's autumn. The nights are getting a little bit colder. That means roasts and braises. So today we're working on a leg of lamb. So what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna cook inside of a cast iron cauldron. And as you guys have seen in other videos, it worked quite a bit with garlic mustard. Now this time of year it's gone to seed, it's gone past that, now it's dried out and it's basically become hay. So in this case, we're gonna use that. You could also use hay if you're doing this recipe. You could use branches, you could use leaves. Choosing to use that because of the invasive species quality to it. We're gonna use some lavender that we grew here on the farm, and then we're gonna use some garlic that we grew here on the farm. So first thing we do is season our lamb pretty heavily, salt, pepper. Then we're gonna pack our cauldron with our hay, which is our garlic mustard, followed by our lavender, and then our garlic. Next step, meat goes on the top, followed by the lavender and the garlic and the hay. We're gonna close it up and we're gonna cook it in the fire really low and slow. So we wanna get some of that smoke happening in there. And think about the hay as insulation. So it's really gonna help it cook nice and even all the way through. All right, now we have our lamb packed away in our cast iron. I've started a fire ahead of time, and the key here is a slower cooking temperature. So what I'm going to do with a set of tongs, shovel, whatever you guys want to use, I'm going to begin to build a ring of fire of coals around this cast iron. We don't want to do intense right on heat, because what will happen is it'll begin to burn. What is going to happen when it begins to cook is it's going to begin to char some of that garlic, mustard, and lavender and perfume the meat with a little bit of smoke. But also we're sort of steaming it inside of this container as well. So we're building a ring of fire around it. And the coals are incredibly hot. Nice white ash on logs, on coals, means that they're optimum temperature, super hot. So we have that down. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put just a few pieces on top. Not a lot, because you put too much on top, it's gonna burn from the top down. So a few pieces. We're gonna come back and check on this. This is probably gonna cook for, let's say, an hour and a half. But we'll check it after an hour to see where we're at. All right, so it's been about an hour. Now it's time to check on the lamb. I'm gonna move some of our coals off back into the fire, because if it's not ready, we can still recharge our charcoal and use it. Gently lift off the lid here. Be very careful. The lid is smoking hot. All right, so I can hear it sizzling. It's singing to us. I can see steam coming off of it. You see a little color on this garlic mustard. So let's move that to the side a little bit. Let's use a knife. This is a little trick I use all the time when it comes to cooking meat, is we're gonna stick it, go right to the center. See that juice coming out? Looks kind of clear. That is done. It's steaming. So I'm gonna pull it out of here. I'm gonna move some of that hay to the side. So basically, as you can see, it's been steaming in here, but I want a little color. I want a little caramel on the outside of this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna directly put it onto this fire over here. I'm gonna blow off the ash, get it really hot, and let it sear. A little bit of this underneath here too, just to help us along. We got a good fire going there. We're looking to just get a nice sear. That's it. Okay, so our lamb has been resting for about 10 minutes. Now we're gonna cut into it. Now this video isn't sponsored by anybody, but I do wanna give a shout out to my friend who just created this amazing knife called Artisan Revere. It is their chef knife. It is made from a specialty steel called Elmax steel, which has pretty much been the industry standard for many, many woodland knives. Knives you would use to cut down trees, basically survival knives. And for me, that couldn't be a better combination of what we do and these types of chef knives. So we're gonna go ahead and use this knife to start cutting our lamb. We don't want to go too thin on this. I'm going to cut just enough into it, retains its heat. And I'll tell you, the smell of it right now is intoxicating. The lavender, the garlic, a little bit of smoky hay, and of course that delicious lamb. I love lamb. That's fantastic. So it's pretty simple hay roasting. You can do this with beef, you can do this with pork, you can do this with chicken. Basically anything you want to do it with, you can, even vegetables. So I wouldn't go too heavy with any sort of sauce you're using here. You really want the lavender and the garlic to be able to speak for itself. Of course, assuming you like those flavors. And also you might want to consider this for your next holiday roast as well. So enjoy, guys, and eat more lamb because it's delicious.